Back from my first national, and I might have been wrong about one thing. I might be a card show guy. This is Cut the Nonsense.
That was really Godfather-esque.
What happened to the lighting when you left Arizona? Was Emily in there screwing around? Was it one of the seven in the pack? What happened? Talk to us, Joe.
Well, my wife is a big community gal, right? And having 5 children, we cover quite a few years of people, knowing people. And she got a knock on the door. One of my son's friends was like, "Hey, we're cleaning windows."
They're going to say it was one of my people. Okay, go ahead.
I let that one go for the record.
We would have let him in.
Sure.
She would have honestly let him in. I would have met him at the door, and then we would have went from there. But
I like it. Wait, I'm glad you clarified you would have let him in.
Yeah. Let him in.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
So
Anyway.
these kids show up. They're like, "Hey, we're cleaning windows to raise money for their I think baseball team." And we have a 2-story house. They're like, "But we're only doing the first floor." So my wife had to go and then take the screens off of all the windows. And for first floor, they said they also gave us a 50% discount of $100. So
How much did you pay? I cleaned windows for years with my brother.
I think we had maybe 6 windows cleaned for $50 by little kids.
But you had to take off your own screens? Shouldn't that be part of the deal?
She did. And when I came in,
Those screens
the
scrubbed?
lighting,
They didn't take the scrubber to the screens?
Mike, they're 11-year-old kids. I think
That's when you just give them $5. Like, listen, I don't want you working here. I want you gone. So I've noticed your lighting. We're going to get that figured out once you sign this contract.
You know what? By the way, I'm glad you brought that up. We're going to do it right now. I'm going to end my holdout with Hobby Solutions, and I'm going to do it right now.
You got to
signing
the
phone. You're signing the DocuSign.
You are now accepting. DocuSign.
There's no NDA, so can I tell them you're accepting $400 a month plus incentives starting after this month? Does that not seem like way too? I'm not trying to be mean. Does that not seem like a vast overpayment by us, Danny?
No, a lot of people were saying crazy underpaid, and I'm
That's
betting on myself.
Well, we're not talking about your
betting on myself.
That's $100 an hour. You only do 4 shows a month. You show up looking like this.
Yeah.
You look like I sound right now.
You should get half price for the face.
You can only see half the face. I want you to take some of that money and I want you to buy a light for behind your camera. If that's not done, I'm going to void this contract. All right, let's get into this.
I'm never going to stop.
Send your address. I'm sending you a light.
And Danny, I said this before. Danny has somehow magically matched his only person in America who can do this. He can match his face to his shirt color. How does that happen?
This is mint green. This is pale.
It's all just amorphous gray. And your wall color. Did you paint the room? This is uncanny. The only sensible person in that room is Muhammad. He's dead. He is dead, right? Ali?
He is.
Yeah.
He is. Yeah.
R.I.P.
You are very, very sensitive. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. He just signed. Actually, I just got the ding on my phone.
I just ended the holdout.
Joe's on the team. All right. Let's talk about the National. I've said enough of my side. What do you guys think of the Nationals? Or Danny, you want to direct this? What do you want to do here?
I want you to be quiet so I can go. Joe, you had both sides of the table.
Yeah.
Which is a very unique experience, especially for your first National.
Yeah, went both ways this time. My first time I went both ways at the National.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're bringing this up, but I want to start with a number 2. I want to start with 47,367. Your thoughts on that number, gentlemen?
How many people that came to the table?
No, Mike.
47,367.
367.
Is it National related?
Yeah, absolutely it is. Yes, it is.
How many people attended a trade night?
No.
How many perverts in the crowd?
It could be close on both of those. Not sure.
I'll take the over.
That was the total amount of steps in 4 days for me at the National, which was fantastic. Working both sides. Strong opposed number. I only did 719 on Sunday when I was back home.
So sometimes.
How do you only move 700 steps? That's like you going to the bathroom a few times. That's it. You just lay down.
That is correct.
Oh my God. Kids, if you want to see Dad after this week vacation, I missed your school opening.
Yeah.
You walk to me. I am not moving.
And I'll verify the 47,000 steps. That headband is serving a purpose. It's not decorative.
Did they just
Yeah.
wheel you around when you got home like a returning king?
I wish. No,
700
here's the
steps?
other
Oh.
funny joke about on the other side of the Nationals. My wife treated me to two of my children are hosting a sleepover. So when I got back home at 10:30 at night, I had to facilitate not just coming in. Like I'm a guy who comes in, I just want to just drop everything at the door and then just go. And that wasn't an option. But back to being on both sides of the National, which is fantastic, is being able to have a true understanding of what is being sold right now.
Okay, well, hang on. Both sides. He worked with Greenie, our man Steve, Greenie Sports Cards, booth 1338.
Yep.
It was close.
able to
I don't
help
know if
there.
that was exact.
It doesn't matter anymore.
Matters a lot.
Yeah,
Go see the booth,
they
guys.
actually have the same spot for next year. Don't know
That
if the
was
numbering will be
a
the
prime
same.
location. I will give them that.
Yeah, they were right near PSA, right near the Breakers Pavilion, which is one place that Mike holds near and dear to his heart. But learning about just both sides, I'm going to tell you guys, it's wild when they tell you cash is king. It's not a joke. Like people are liquidating anything that they have in their electronic forms of payment, walking around with, in some cases, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Seeing that, we talk a lot about the 90s era and junk wax. Buddy, I saw some 90s insert cards that I had never seen in my life. And guys, like grown men, like throwing tons of money towards these type of cards, which is insanity. Like, and I'm talking for guys
crying, like you when you saw Nate Burns. Okay, sorry.
That too, which I did see Nate a couple of times, my guy.
Yep.
You almost lost it in another interview also we'll talk about.
I did.
Oh, I'm not going to interrupt. Please, no, continue.
Yeah. No, I hate you.
I tell you, 792 steps is a number. 840 is another. The amount of tears that came off Joe's face thinking about men in the cardboard space the last 3 days.
47,000.
Oh God,
dude, it was insane. Like, but when I'm talking about these 90s inserts, which again, you guys will get after me about, but like we're talking like guys who had okay careers, not crazy super good, but like Hideo Nomo, Scott Rowland, like looking at these different type of cards and what they go for is absolutely insane. And then finding out the guys who are investing in these cards then want to go take those cards and have them signed for an in-person autograph, where the autograph is going to be huge and kind of take away from the eye appeal of the card at that point, but true collectors, right? So seeing that side of it from the vending side and then walking around and then just from a customer standpoint, yes, I can see that some people were frustrated. Manners and etiquette still could be a class that is taught maybe in the 3-hour line for the VIP group. We could just have someone as a mobile etiquette coach walking through. But then walking through and also seeing the shooting content side, you guys, I talked to you about this. It was eye-opening for me about the lack of people having actual genuine character is wild to me. It's wild.
Can we talk about some of the crazy things that we saw going around? Mike, were you with me when the guy had the stroller with the Zion case in it and the baby was in the other room?
Yeah, in a mohawk. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he had no baby at all. He didn't have. He borrowed that stroller from his friends. I talked to him. I was like, "Do you have a kid here or something?" He's like, "No, but I have Zion cases back here." A lot of throat clearing. My voice is toast. I was like, "Where's the kid?" He's like, "I don't have a kid with me, and I borrowed this from a friend because they know I needed to get around with these big Zion cases."
That's next
jacked
level.
dude, jacked white guy with a mohawk. I think I've met him before.
Maybe his kid was named Zion K. I mean, millennial, right?
It's like one of those Casey Rocket situations. How much will you trade me for the boy?
And then I heard that
great refractors.
I heard the ATMs were charging a $25 fee.
Who was?
Cash, the ATM.
Good for them if they were. Make up the
prices. That's crazier than a Vegas ATM. That is higher fee than a Vegas ATM, which is wild.
Joe, to your point about how much cash was on the floor, think how many times people had to hit an ATM to get a card.
Amen.
They bring 5,000. The card ends up being 6,000. They're going to pay $25 for that 1,000 that are taken out in a second.
It was pointed out to me at one point that a guy who was at the ATM, his father actually founded a bank. And so it was odd that he didn't have the cash on him to begin with. So I thought that was wild. Yeah.
And then the screaming content creators. just because you're walking around filming people does not mean you need to scream at the top of your lungs. We were doing a little bit of recording, and there was a gentleman that seemed to be having a half-hour episode.
You're talking about the breaker in the lounge, the idiot?
Yeah. And that was just, first of all, it's the VIP lounge and a little decorum in general. But this guy's screaming at the top of his lungs while other people are obviously recording and doing business at normal levels. So I thought he was a jerk.
I'd also like to full circle my the start about the kids coming to the door to sell the window cleaning. I did come across the future of door-to-door salesmen at a young age. A lot of the kids that were coming up to the booth and throwing their cases up there, are you guys buying, pulling things out? Like, I was happy that there wasn't a lot of shy kids that were there. There were some bold people. So if you're looking to sell solar panels in the future, companies, that would be a great recruiting hotbed to start getting these kids to get their LinkedIn profiles going, because they were out there just slinging these cards. And what was cool, honestly, too, is they weren't taking no for an answer. And that was cool. It was consistent. So in some cases, as big as the National is, you did have a lot of repeat sellers and buyers coming back, at least from my perspective at the booth I was at, 1338 Greenies.
There you go. Mike, you've given your opinion real quick. Overall summary this year versus other years.
Biggest show in last year in Cleveland, I thought was one of the smaller ones because it's such a small venue. This year, I think that I don't even know that it was really close to the last time we were in Chicago. I think I'm curious what the attendance numbers are. I thought this was the most attended. And not only the attendance, like the VIP lounge this year was 5 times the size of last year, maybe 10, whatever they said it was, the Ludex people. And it was full every single day from start to finish. The trade nights, I mean, not everybody got into a trade night any night. The line was cut off while it was still outside every night. I don't know, 5,000-10,000 people in that room for trade night while there's all the hotel area trade nights going on. It's interesting. Like, I think there were a lot of new vendors. I will say that. Like, there were a lot of guys and talking to them, just hey, have you done this before? You know, talking about a card. And by the way, like, first time setting up, what is it? A lot of new vendors, which I think is great. Still a lot of the same, like, losers. Like, the next segment me and Dad are going to do, I had Papa Gio with me walking around, and on Friday, it was so bad that I was like, hey, we're going to start comping cards as we walk by, and then I'm going to show you, and then we're going to go back, and we're going to ask them the price. Because a lot of guys, like some guys didn't have their stuff priced out, which is fine. And it would be like a $400 card, $410, $420, $417, multiple sales. Asking price, yeah, I got to get $650. And then even Dad would just laugh because it was just stupid. Another card that the guy, I've repeated some of this the other day on the YouTube, but I was like, hey, this triple auto. I love those triple threads, old school triple auto jersey cards. One of my biggest PCs. I love them. I have the white whale card of that card. I paid $1,100 or $1,200. The guy's like, yeah, really, really rare. You know, it's really rare. I was like, what's number 3? I understand it's rare. $3,000. So again, it's not even like so. And those are just 2 specific examples. The amount of tables, like on Saturday when I walked around, when I finally bought that Elway rookie, I literally said to the guy, Eric was his name. I was like, dude, you were the first non-scumbag dealer I've talked to today. I talked at least 30 to 40 tables that morning in search. And I told my dad, I was like, we're buying the first decent card I see that has a decent price. I was so irritated. I was like, I'm just buying it. You can't do anything about that. I guess the issue is too, and some people made comments on my little video I did about this. Well, comps are just a last sale. Cool. People who don't respect comps are the same guys who don't sell that much. Because like you go over and talk to Burns. Another thing I've learned too, I've heard it on this show, even in the comments before, and we've heard it on the podcast for years. Well, you guys only deal with the same 5 people all the time. It's always Sheps or Burns or Greenie or one of the same people. Yeah, because they're not losers. Like these guys go to a show and roll through inventory and buy like maniacs and have crazy productive shows and know they're not on camera screaming or acting like buffoons the whole time. They literally just get transactions done. So yeah, it's true. It's a totally fair criticism. That's why it will never change. When I find reasonable, good buyers, my buddy Bryce from Indy, that dude transacts at every show he goes to, sells like a maniac. That's why I don't enjoy wasting time at tables. And if the first offer I make has to be 40% off to get me to comps, I just don't want to waste my time. I just have no use for it.
Oh, Mike, that's why they have the inventory that you're looking for too, is because people want to sell their cards with these guys because there is no nonsense there. I mean, you know what you're going to get with these vendors, and they constantly are refreshing their inventory out of necessity because they're selling. Burns put up a post, while everyone's sleeping, he was out buying a big collection
Second
again
biggest
that
ever.
morning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Huge collection, and people
And
want to
dude, we
do
were over
business
there.
with people like that.
Yeah, we were over there. Bartley bought a 10K card in front of us. I spent a couple grand there. I mean, and again, there's a lot of them. Indy Card Exchange, by the way, another guy, Andy and Jake and those guys, they sell a ton of stuff. And most of those guys, good.
I was going to say more tables buying than I think previous years by far. I don't know if it's for repacks, but every other table had a "we're buying" sign.
For sure.
It's the advantage of setting up for sure.
But I think that's also to get people to come to your booth too, because you could say that you're buying, but
40%.
I got a kick out of the Brian Gray. Did you see that one he was buying? And he was like saying online, first I walked by there about 10 times. There were always a few people in line.
Yeah.
I liked it. He was just literally sitting near the bathroom on the wall with a wooden table with no skirt. I was like, who would sell to this guy?
Brian,
and there was never a 45-minute line. I was there. I mean, unless it was like the one time I passed by because he had a great spot. I was like, this isn't,
I'm surprised I missed him. That's hard to do.
He had a little overflow from the PSA line that was wrapped around the building twice. So for content, he could view that because they were going past that line. And he had a great setup. I think it was right by the Poke Bowls and the Walking Nachos, which is fantastic area,
Sure.
right? So overflow for that as well. Which two incredibly messy foods if you're dealing with expensive stuff. So, wow.
All right. Moving on to the next couple years, Chicago for 2 years, and news came out, not Atlanta, not Chicago. They announced Detroit in 2028. Joe, you are originally from Michigan. Give us the rundown for all the people that are saying Detroit is worse than Atlantic City. I've already seen in comments people, on Detroit. Explain to us why they're going there.
Well, and this is a tongue-in-cheek comment here, but these are most of the people who haven't been out of their own local municipality, to be honest. To even just turn on any news type of network, you're going to see that Detroit has had this huge overhaul in the amount of money that's been reinfused into that city with winning sports teams. You have a big food, big music, culture stuff there. So again, it is another venue for the National to go in and kind of bring its flair and its customers to that area so they can actually experience what Detroit's all about. So I think it's a big win. Detroit also, bring your passports. You can go across to Canada for an evening, enjoy Windsor. There's a lot of stuff there. I mean, you can buy duty free and not have to fly. Think about it.
I didn't realize too, Dan Gilbert's behind a ton of the money being infused up there. And there's 3 years. I wasn't sure the outrage. Like Atlantic City's a dump. I do like Atlanta, but Atlanta is the total opposite coast for the rest of the country. That's tough to get to. I think Nashville would be amazing, but I don't think it works.
But what did they bring to give away? I mean, Detroit brought peanuts for people.
Did they really?
And they brought Canada.
Yeah, and Canada. So
okay,
incredible value.
What's the problem with Nashville, Mike? Because I've heard a lot of people suggest that. Is it no convention center big enough?
No. They have the new convention. So 3 or 4 years ago, they spoke to the people here, and I knew I think they've since left, but the price is outrageous. Oh. And Nashville doesn't need it. That's the thing. Like, I know some of these other cities, like Atlantic City, I think it was free that year they went. I think Chicago's had a good working relationship with them for years. I'm sure Detroit, same thing. Like, hey, to vitalize the economy here, like, we'll give you a good discount. Nashville's not discounting for anybody. Like, the Nashville Convention Center, we had once asked them about a tiny wing. Probably about a third of the size of just the VIP lounge, because we were going to try to do a big show years ago, and the price was astronomical. And the lady was great. She was just like, it's rented for like 6 years. Like, I mean, granted, some of that falls through or whatever. She's like, we don't need to. Like, Nashville's crazy up and coming. Also, hotel rooms. People are complaining about a $300 hotel room in Chicago. Have fun coming to Nashville and getting a hotel room anywhere near the convention center for less than $500-$600 if they have something sold out. So for those reasons, it's tough. Also, Nashville's a great airport. It's relatively small. I just don't think it's up for something like that. I would love it, but
what sporting events do they have going on in the summer too? I mean, I think that's another draw, is to be able to bring people in. I mean, hopefully enough years out for
baseball
for them to schedule games so that people could maybe go to a game after the show.
Yeah, just minor league stuff, but there's nothing.
Predators are out of season.
Right. Yep.
Thanks, Danny.
Well, for people who
It's
don't
valuable
follow.
information. That's what I mean. I guess I'm not upset about Detroit, though. I would much rather do Detroit than Atlantic City.
Do you want Chicago 2 more years, though?
I want
think
Chicago every year. I think Chicago is the
I think
best setup, period.
I think it outgrew Chicago this year. I felt this is the
I
first
just
year I
don't.
felt like it outgrew.
Is the place in Detroit bigger? Like Chicago is the biggest thing I've ever.
They have a bigger exhibition hall in Chicago. My Uber driver was telling me that the show should be at the other convention hall, which is much bigger.
I mean,
But
I
Rosemont,
guess
where that is, I mean,
it's a
that's built for
great
shows like this, like
Yeah.
having the hotels right there, the parking garage, all that kind of stuff. So
The
I-
restaurants, you can walk
But
everywhere.
people say that the couple of hotels that are right there sell out early and are expensive.
I
Most
I
people
got
are
to
saying,
Marriott a month ago. It was 0.6 miles away.
there you go.
yeah, but do you mind me asking what the price was?
$2,000, and it was. But however, I got a full 1-bedroom suite with a separate room for my dad, and it was
Right.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We stayed 4 nights. Like that's not outrageous to me. But again, I live in
Not
Nashville.
terrible.
Like to me in Nashville,
Right.
that's a regular 1-bedroom like hotel. I thought it was fine. I do. I love that area and the airports. Like people knock O'Hare. O'Hare was crazy. Like, dude, you went through yesterday morning, right,
Yep.
Danny? Same time. We walked through in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, granted, nobody looked at our ID.
Well, also think about upstairs too. I mean, they had that area for the new vendors, but they didn't even tap the total amount of space that was up in
Correct.
that location. I mean,
Yep.
there is room to grow up there. And I mean,
I don't think they
you can do
advertised the
booths.
second floor well. I don't think a lot of
I'm
people.
glad they didn't. You couldn't move as it was. Like, good God, if they advertised it, ugh,
So it was too crowded upstairs.
you couldn't move upstairs. I went up there one time. We got back
Well,
on the
that's
escalator.
my
Can't-
point. That's my point. Why should it be too crowded?
They got to
I
earn their
think-
keep. It was their first national.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah,
also the balance,
think
right?
that's
Like
good.
everybody wants like more space, but like the perception has to be the demand to get in. I get that too, and they don't want to use more space and pay for more space than they're going to use. Granted, I've already got the solution. Throw out breakers. No more breakers pavilion. Period. Get rid. That's a massive space in the middle of the floor.
You know what
Throw 'em
else
out.
too, is like from both sides of learning at my first national, dude. The political side of the national and the people that are involved and all that kind of stuff. It is wild. If you think, again, naive Joe, going to a card show, if you thought for a second that there isn't like votes and deals and this and all this stuff that go into where people are placed, where they're sitting, how many years they've been there, why they get to choose where they're sitting, like you're sorely mistaken. I know even going out onto the corporate area, like V-Friends, those corporate locations are not supposed to be selling singles or selling individual cards. They had they had value boxes up there, and I get you make concessions for people. V-Friends had they always had people around. They always had people around the booth, and if they're going to bring in a new type of clientele for the national, I mean, you have to make those concessions. But just kind of learning about those deals, like it is not a hey Johnny, I'd like to sign up for your card show, and here's my $300 for my table per day. Like, dude, there are some deals going on, my friend.
I'll give them credit too for this. Like the first day, the VIP line, the line to get in was like outrageous. It wasn't nearly as bad any other day. Like I thought I thought this committee worked the best, and this was their first one they're running. I think with Al, is it
Joe Drellick and
Joe Drellick and Al Durso, and there's like I know those other people. Those are the only two I know. I thought they handled it. I've been very critical of them in the past. I thought this time they handled things very, very well. They also opened the doors early 2 or 3 days because they said the line was getting long. Let's get them go. Super smart. Like, why not? They opened VIP early a couple days. They opened the trade night early because for that reason. Again, if there's just too many people, that's a good problem. I know it's a problem, but it's like I thought the air conditioning was great the whole time. The Wi-Fi worked good.
Wi-Fi was a whole different experience.
There were not nearly as many of these museum vendors who just set up to show you all this crap nobody wants. There were a few. But yeah, I actually thought in general this was the most well-run. I would love to see when you first walk in the main doors, actual card dealers. That's still the one area where it's like there's a and those are all big time paid sponsors, but there's just crap there. Like nobody's. But then again, too, I say that. Do you want a table there where you're going to transact? If you had Nate Burns when you first walked in, people aren't getting through the door. So,
Right.
so maybe that is actually strategic. So I guess that's not even a real criticism.
Well, it's really the auction houses. So to your point, it's you get to look at cards, not
Which
buy
is
them
fine
on the
because,
way.
like I said, people are going to pass through, and you probably can't have people like there where you're going to set up and do stuff.
Danny,
because
like 10 books in on the left, there was a fudge sales. There were people selling fudge, not cards, nothing to do with cards. There was a fudge
gourmet
factory.
fudge, though. That wasn't like
Yes.
some chubby lady
legit.
in Traverse City throwing stuff against the wall. You know what I'm saying?
Which is fantastic.
They were packing them in. It was unbelievable. So wrapping up the national, I'm ready to move on. NFL, we missed the beginning of training camp while we were.
Okay, I gotta say it. I gotta backtrack real quick.
The first
Grant wasn't there. He wasn't on location. His brother was there for backyard. Grant, that was one of my goals.
Oh, he wasn't at the show because he was around. He was like doing all the videos and stuff.
He was at like a bowling alley down the street, but all the content for backyard Big Brother was there. I really wanted to talk with Grant, and I didn't. That was the one thing on my list that I didn't get a chance just to kind of follow up with him after the whole fiasco, which was wild. So I did want to bring that up. That was on my list and something I was not able to do. That bow ties my national. Sorry.
Okay, and actually, the last point on the national, all three of us got a chance to sit down with Mike Mahan. And Mike, did you talk to Ryan Hogue at the show?
Yeah, we did a little stand-up stuff. We dealt with him every day. Yeah.
Yeah. So all three of us got to talk to them.
PSA rolled up some awesome stuff. Like, did you see the PSA stuff where here's the other thing, and I did not know about this till Friday or Saturday. You could go to the vault, like that part of their website, and see, hey, this card. They were buying cards there, and they tell you what they'll pay. And who the heck was it? Oh, Zablo from Bleecker Trading was like, dude, I literally just looked at this to see the stuff they were buying. I just bought these 2 cards at a table, and he literally just left the line. I'm paying $125 for this. You just go out and find them for $100, walk them right over to PSA, and they were buying them. So that was a cool service. You could vault stuff right on the right there, which they said they took in. I think it was close to 5,000 the first day. Their vault was super busy, which I was shocked. By the end, they were getting a little slow with the same day stuff, but they were still getting a bunch of stuff back pretty quick. So yeah, they had a massive presence.
And their comment was the reason the prices are expensive is because they can be. And because they want to limit the amount of stuff they take in so they can fulfill on time. So I thought that was interesting. And that they actually
that's a problem. People were roasting them. Yeah. It's a business. I don't understand.
From the grading standpoint, I mean, and I'll even say, I know we talk about them being number 3, but Beckett was busy. The Beckett area was busy. SGC was not. It was just a drop off. But Beckett did have quite a few people around there.
And for those that are worried about SGC, one of the things that was interesting was Ryan Hogue saying that SGC, he's been in charge of for 1.5 years. So Peter Steinberg was answering to him, and they don't expect any changes in operational other than being boutique. So I found that interesting. Anything else on that? Because I do want to move on to the NFL.
No, the last thing I was going to say was just the influencer thing that Joe started with. It's hilarious to see when the camera turns on these morons. Either they're yelling or they're like, oh, wow, is that a 1950? Like, you walk by Jeff and Card Collector and all these guys. Like, guys, you ever think people just want to see genuine content that's good? But that's why you'll see it in one of the videos we release today or tomorrow. I got to give him credit. Gary V 2 days in a row, and I finally had Callan, our camera guy. I was like, you got to get a camera on him. He walked around both mornings for hours by himself, no camera, no mic, nothing, and was buying. And granted, the people recognize him, but he was just buying cards, doing his thing. You can hate on him all you want. I thought that was cool that he's actually in the space like that.
Agreed.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we missed the beginning of NFL preseason games, Hall of Fame games. So when the card market has a new season, prices usually go up. Looking at NFL products this year, looking at players to break out. Joe, I know you wanted to talk about this a little bit. So what's your angle on this?
Well, my Lions lost in preseason pretty handedly. But on the other side of them losing to the Chargers, Trey Lance had a pretty solid game. And we are so reactionary in the hobby. I thought it was interesting because I didn't see as many Trey Lances popping up on Friday as I thought there would be. I mean, he went 13 for 20, threw for over 100 yards. I thought for sure you would start to see some price movement on Trey Lance. Not the case. But it's exciting because I did see an uptick, and I did ask the people at Blowout and David Adams if they had an increase in sales of their Don Russ Elite and their Score product, and they did. And that was just people rookie hunting for especially in Donruss Elite, looking for those pen pal cards, right? The on card auto from those players. So there was a big uptick with the NFL season starting. People are looking to hunt these players. And, you know, from, if you guys had a chance to listen to Mike and Jesse on Sports Cards Nonsense, they did say that, you know, there are some things to come, but it doesn't look like Topps is going to be printing any 2025 football yet. There may be some stuff to come in the future, but this is what's out there and people are hunting because baseball is king right now for sure, 100%. But football wants to be king and they're willing to do what it takes to get to that level.
Gio, do you play the seasons or you just buy what you want and sell it when it's right?
Yeah, I mean, football is definitely high right now. Like the speculation on players, 9 out of 10 guys are higher now than they will be, even if they have a good start to the season. You have the occasional guy who starts out unbelievable, but yeah, in general, this is the time to sell if you're in the football flipping game for sure. And yeah, to Joe's point, so they've already announced officially they will not be Topps will not be printing football cards until March and/or April of next year when they have the license. What I had heard from a couple sources was there's some legality to what happened in 2024 product, so they're not going to print 2025 product at all. Starting in March and April of next year, they're going to start 26. So there will be no professionally, well, wouldn't be licensed, but pro football. They'll still have their Bowman's Best University and all that. We asked Ruben and Mahan, they couldn't comment on it, which makes me think that's absolutely the case. Is that a mod?
No, it's Cam Scattaboo. So Wild Card, they're still printing their pro look. It was one of the cards on their wheel that I had the opportunity. Thank you, Greenie. He let me open a pack, and I got an Arizona State guy, Cam Scattaboo, little 101.
That's a little guy, right?
Yeah, he is. But to that point, like he's in his Giants stuff already with his number. So I mean, unlicensed, licensed. I know the argument on there, but it's still going to be available. There are going to be other platforms. Topps just is not going to make that available for you as of right now.
But there are some legal cases with the NFL Players Association and some other stuff on how Fanatics got the license and whether that was a free process and open process, or if the league's having part interest in the license is a conflict of interest. So that might be part of the legality behind it.
Yeah, and just to be clear, I was told too, and Leaf has played this game for years, but they didn't have licensing, but they'd have 2 to 3 players. Like Ohtani was in Leaf Trinity for years. Acuna and Tatis were in those. What I was told is even without the player license, to get around the whole antitrust monopoly, unlicensed companies could still use I think it was up to 3 players from the PA. If you look at 2023 football, you had 3 players. Well, actually, you had 4 because Anthony Richardson was there, but he was in both. You had all 4 quarterbacks signed, though. But last year, 2024 stuff, you had the entire rookie class. It was 150 people. I was told this was some of that punishment for doing that. But again, the fact that Mahan and Ruben couldn't speak to it, I was like, okay. Well, they could, and they told me, like, hey, there's some things we just can't say. I understand. So I think that pretty much answers the question, but we'll see.
All right, so if we're going to talk real quick about some of the players, who do you guys like going up? Who do you guys like coming down? Definitely put it in the comments. I think Jaden Daniels can't go any higher. I think he's kind of maxed out. Obviously, Will Levis out for the year, but Cam Ward.
Don't count Will out. Don't count my boy out. You never know.
Well, Cam Ward, I think, is the way to go.
Will Levis. To the moon.
Who do you guys like?
But Danny, I don't think Cam Ward even has an autograph in Panini.
He doesn't. He won't have anything.
So
this is going to be a brutal year for football. If Topps,
which is crazy,
make anything, then you only have Panini, and they have almost. I don't think it's going to be just Cam Ward and Sanders. I think you're going to see.
So Shador he's a Panini guy. Shador and Travis Hunter are Panini exclusive guys.
But I think that licensing is already up.
So who's going to be the big chase? Travis Hunter at some point?
I think it's going to be the big names, just not autos of them.
Right. But are they going to have 101s?
Yeah, you'll have everything else. You can't have autos.
Yeah, there'll be 50 products with 50 101s with 50 parallels and 50 101s of those parallels too, Danny. You'll be able to get enough. And we heard the breakers. They were pulling all sorts of 101 case hits constantly. So they'll be there, I promise.
It's
loaded
gonna struggle
boxes.
though. Although it's probably good timing. Like nobody's that amped up. I'm sure we'll have some guys come out of nowhere and play really well. This is probably the weakest QB class in a while, which is a good thing. I mean, coming out of the draft, although 2022 stunk coming out of the draft. So
So why does the NFL dominate the sports lexicon, but it seems baseball dominates the hobby?
what would you? Well, Danny's an 82-year-old man trapped in a muted green body, but most people would rather watch a football game. It's much more exciting.
But which cards sell more? Baseball.
Oh, you asked why people watch it more though. Sweet cheeks.
No,
Don't
I'm
switch.
saying why.
Don't go moving the goalpost
No,
on
no,
me.
no. I said, why do people in the hobby like baseball more, collect baseball more, but in the sports world, football dominates?
Sure. Yeah, one is more exciting to watch. One is more exciting to prospect on. Baseball has
I would
different
say
levels.
baseball's more of a global sport too than football.
1,000%. Yeah, football's
So
American. Yeah.
yeah, 100%. Even to that point, I'm standing in line at the Postnet at the National, and a guy behind me, Australian gentleman, uh, big for them. Basketball's king
Yep.
in Australia, then soccer, and then WWE and UFC, and then they have non-sports from there. But football, he's like, yeah, it's real niche. Like over there, it's not. I mean, they if they're buying football in Australia, it is Hall of Famers. They're not buying the new stuff. So, like I said, it is not anywhere near a global sport, which is also to the point where I think F1 took off, and it took off at the level that it did, is because you are talking about global buyers or something like that.
Is basketball going to overtake football in the hobby?
I think it already has.
Do
Yeah,
you?
I think basketball's number 2. Yeah.
Mm, No,
I
I
think
I
disagree.
mean, what
basket.
are we saying? Like, what cards? Like, if you just tallied up all the sales for a year or all the packs open, like, what is the premise for overtaking something?
I guess I'm curious if the print runs are similar, if there's more product going out of one or the other because there's more demand on one or the other.
I know for Panini they're almost identical. So
They are.
yeah, very very close.
And where's baseball? More?
It's a good question. You definitely have more. I would assume you have more hobby SKUs in baseball. I'd say that maybe not. You also have a much longer season.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I had to guess, I would say it's baseball 1, basketball 2 by a slight edge over football. I also think that's how the transactions go too. Like basketball, the basketball market's crazy and it's worldwide.
That's shocking to me, to be honest.
And I think like some of the product stuff, which is crazy to me, why nobody has figured this out yet to do it. Like, why would you not have Prism draft picks come out right at the draft or right after the draft? I mean, you're only putting them in their college uniforms. I just I don't understand the mentality of putting out a pro product when they're sitting in their college uniforms for the next 2 months when you had this window where you could have done that already. I'm so dumbfounded and confused by it, and a lot of the production run, and it's stuff I don't even know that I can't speak about, but from a consumer standpoint, like, it makes 0 sense to me. Like, Prism draft picks will probably come out in October, November. Uh, but why?
Yeah, who wants it then? What's the point?
Joe, you talked about the ability to do a basketball player from college through the pros, all licensed.
Yeah, I brought that up to Mike Mahan. I was like, dude, how cool is it that you're gonna have that licensed product and seeing Cooper Flag at Fanatics Fest being able to hold his one of one McDonald's patch auto all the way to his rookie cards. And Mike agreed with that too. He said, you know, that is a cool thing to be able to offer that to collectors and fans. And when you're able to bridge that, because again, Fanatics Fest on the pod, they had shared it's all about bringing a connection of true sports fans to the hobby and collecting. If you're able to make it seamless where someone doesn't have to be confused and be like, well, I can get a licensed rookie card here, but I can't get an autograph here, and I have to chase this to go there. And it can be a one-stop shop to buy something where it's uniform. I think that's only going to make it better for the consumer. And it is better for business. We all know that it's going to be better for business, but also for not only the consumer but the collector. If you're able to show a complete run in one product or one company name, that's huge, I think.
Mike, you said that prospects were why baseball is more popular. Isn't it prospecting on the basketball rookies or the NFL rookies?
You're buying rookies. Yeah, it's not prospecting. Like, yeah, there's no market like over in baseball. Like, Yeah, it's just not yet, at least.
Okay, will there be a developmental league like G League that actually takes off with cards?
No shot. College, I think you'll still see interest in, but I don't think you're ever going to be beyond college and pros. All right, we're live. Talk about whatever you want.
Yeah.
Haley, make your
talk
segment.
about Papa Gio is what I'd like to talk about.
All right, and we're back. I just threw the dog out of the room. Here we go.
So
we didn't even know we were gone. Haley cuts us up so well. Like, what do you mean you're back? I never left.
Yeah.
I just throw the dog out.
We had a meeting with a bunch of people. The meeting was scheduled for 3:00 at a restaurant. I think everybody got there 4:30.
Restaurant didn't open. First of all, the restaurant didn't open until 4. He called me. And he called me. He's like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm on the curb outside, and it doesn't open till 4." And we didn't get there till 4:30, anyways. Yeah.
Mike's reaction is there a hotel nearby you can go sit in?
Well, there's bars in the other hotels. Like, isn't there a bar right? I know there is because I stayed at that hotel. It's like there's like 6 restaurants right there. Don't sit on the curb like an idiot. But Danny, I guarantee, was out there in his sweatshirt, typing on his computer or something, having a ball.
Yeah. I did go into the lobby of the hotel.
I knew it.
Which they had big signs. Due to the rules of the National, no card trading in our lobby or the hallways. Hotel guest only.
Good.
I heard from several places, including a YouTube get-together that had to move, that the National actually told all the hotels that they will pull them from recommended list of hotels if they don't get approval from the National to have an off-site national event. And that blew me away.
They did that they started that last year too. Here's the thing, though. I hear the hotels say that. I'm sure the hotels are also like, hey, you better enforce it. We don't want a bunch of smelly teenagers sitting around. Like the last couple of years in Chicago, it's been, you can't even walk through your hotel room, like the hotel to get to your room. It's ridiculous. Like why would you, like at some point you're loitering, get out.
We went to a party that had to get approved from one of the companies, the karaoke party. Yep. It's at a private hotel.
Really?
It's off-site. It's no selling or trading of cards.
You're talking about the Mojo party.
The Mojo party. Mm-hmm. And they needed permission from the National to do that.
I mean, they don't need it, but the flip side is we're not going to put you on the recommended list and give you the discounted wings, like wings of rooms. So I get it. Like, you know, it is what it is, though. That's if you want to play the game, like that's the game. Like the National wants to be the only act in town. I don't know if I was going to go to that YouTube thing. I was like, you know what? I'm getting a little sick of these YouTube people. Although I think I like who was that one? I know Phil was there. I like Phil. Who else was there?
Chris Soule was there.
Chris was with us. I know. Is Chris part of that? He's not part of that show. Oh, this was
the all YouTubers. Anybody?
Not all. I mean, our little show didn't get invited. Just Danny because he has a relationship.
Wow.
It was an open invite. It was an open invite.
I'll put this open invite out there. I think the 3 of us could beat the crap out of any other YouTube show out there. Like 3v3, I'd put us. Well, Danny's not doing much to help, but I think me and Joe could roll. Saw a video of Joe in college deadlifting 805. Wow,
850.
Oh,
like that. Yeah, thank you.
And
then also ran into a fan of the show, BJ, who did say I was a lot thicker in real life than the camera.
I'm taking 700 steps a day. You're gonna
BJ said you're thicker.
He was like, dude, I could tell you played football. Like you're a burly guy. Like when first time I gave Papa Gio a hug, he was like, geez, Louise.
Well, we can't repeat the first intros of any of you people with my dad. Totally.
Can we talk about Papa Gio?
Don't bury him,
Please.
But yes.
No,
well, he can't be canceled, but
is the salt of the earth. You must be thick-skinned. But if you can get him telling stories,
oh boy.
I mean, these are movies. These are absolutely literature at its best, but it's all true.
Not only
I'd like to believe it's true,
but thick-bodied like myself. Yeah, no, Papa Gio, dude. That's going to be the next shirt I get is Papa Gio guy. That's what it's just going to say right here. Dude, he knows what he's there for. He's having a good time. He enjoys himself, and then he slides in a few comments here and there. But if you're not paying attention in the conversation with him, you're going to miss it. 100%. And he's not a repeat himself guy.
No.
So if you don't catch the first time, you're going to miss it. But dude, awesome interaction. I had a great time. I spent a lot of time with Papa Gio. In fact, I spent probably more time with him than his son because his son is so famous and so important in the hobby. So it was a fantastic time that I did have with him. So shout out to Papa Gio, my guy.
Papa G
Jesse-
is the type of guy you can greet you
Jesse.
3 ways. He can give you a hug, a handshake, or the finger. And I got
And you
greeted all
typically
3
got
ways.
all of them. Yeah, you
Yeah,
get them
exactly.
all.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Mike, you got to bring him every year.
That's your
Mike
your
just
thing.
squashed me and Jesse. Me and Jesse, a lot of hugging. Danny, you saw the first interaction. Jesse was not.
Well, you saw the first night, Dan. Jesse
I
walked
s-
by me. He just said he wasn't feeling good or something. I was like, man, I thought he was angry about something.
No,
It worked out good.
the first time they looked at each other was kind of like what was the movie with King Kong and Godzilla? Looking at each other, and it was kind of like a showdown for a second. And Joe goes right in for the hug, and Jesse doesn't move at all.
That's
and
an
Joe,
interesting matchup. I mean, Jesse has the clear size advantage, but Joe is much more of a solid individual physically. So,
to Jesse's credit, he came back with the hug.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
he did.
I would like to see that cage wrestling match. I don't think.
Cool.
I just don't know. Jesse's got the youth on his side, but only by a little bit. Joe has the past experience, and Jesse has the mass. But I think our boy Joe takes him.
It was
in a friendly way, though.
It was the showdown.
In a tickle fight, I'd get him.
I thought it was interesting. At least I tend to exaggerate numbers, so I really tried to lock in this time. I would bet real money there were a minimum of 100 people that went up and introduced themselves to my father and knew him by name. Minimum. Every time we walked the floor,
Absolutely.
people like, "Hey, Gio, what's up, man?" But this is. I was like, "Yeah, it was pretty funny."
When we were working the table at trade night, we're giving out T-shirts. People are coming over saying how much they love the podcast and Papa Gio.
No.
And he was reveling in the moment. I'm glad. So,
can I show real quick? I know we talked about Mike's pickups here.
Oh yeah, what'd you get? I didn't see. I haven't asked you.
So I was talking to you guys about the piggy banks cards, right? You remember that?
We were with that author he collabed with. I mean, the artist he collabed with, right? In the VIP thing.
I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe yes.
good.
Yeah.
I'll mute out.
So Wildcard made this product. It's called Pop One. So the boxes itself are a Pop One. And I can actually say with confidence, because I was there and I did it, I made the very first purchase of this product. And they had other people. They had Mahomes, Josh Allen, Messi, a few other. I think they had like a Trump card. But what they are, they're art cards. And I think they had 64 total. And they came in a real nice glass presentation box. And I know this is really loud. Sorry. It is a Joker's Wild Lamine Yamal. You guys know it's my guy. And they are art cards. So
what did that thing run you? The whole setup.
I got it for $250. And the
selling
next
it?
day,
What's the plan here?
No.
What's the market value on that?
I couldn't find a single one up for sale. The next day we walked over there and Greenie wanted to buy a few and they went up to $300. So in a day they moved the cost $50. So
well, there's 2 theories on why you can't find comps. It's new or nobody wants one.
Well, they were all gone by Saturday.
Those things, I'm sure just sold. But also a lot of collectors buy that stuff. I have noticed like those guys are not looking to flip. They want to just hold that stuff.
Yeah. It's just a cool piece. And the whole setup, the whole box, everything looks nice. And you guys know I like Lamine Yamal. So
I had
the
no
fact
idea
that it was there.
that, by the way. Did you know that, Danny?
That he likes Lamine Yamal?
Yeah.
The soccer player, yes. He talks about him frequently.
Okay.
You should. We're a great show, Mike. You should pay attention.
That was a great show. We have a show.
Can we also go back to another comment that Mike made at the National that is absolutely asinine?
Sure.
And
which one? How do you limit it?
Are we going the Mount Rushmore comment again? Because I don't think we can share all that.
No.
Okay.
No. We were talking about the top 5 centers of all time when Dwight Howard was there. He's like, oh, yeah, top 5 center of all time.
Nope. Top 10. Top 10 center of all time.
That is not what you said.
It's exactly what I said. I said the top 5 are absolutely locked, but I can give you the top 10. Yeah, I've done my top 5 on here. And the classic example of the headman squeezing out those 792 steps of this dummy. I hope Jesse crushes him in a freaking cage match. Right. I said I could make an argument he's top 10. No question. The top 5 are locked.
What's the argument for top 10?
He has multiple Defensive Player of the Year awards. He's top.
So does Bam Adebayo. Or Ben Wallace.
Okay, Ben Wallace might have one or two. Dwight Howard also led his team to a finals, led the team in scoring that year. Number of years was 18 to 20 points in a great era of centers. Defensively great and one of the best rebounding centers of all time. His numbers are up there. I'm just gonna say, like you want to like real quick. We can go sports. Like your Shaq, Kareem, Hakeem, Bill, Wilt, Moses, Joker, Robinson. Sure, I'll give you those 8 absolute locks.
Yep.
I think after that, you could argue he's in the discussion.
You think he's better than Ewing?
Ewing's interesting. Ewing much better offensively, not nearly as
call.
good of a rebounder or a defensive player, and had no team success.
And
I mean, similar team
Mutombo?
success to Dwight.
Better than Mutombo?
I take him over Mutombo, yeah. I think he could be a
Kareem?
leader. Well, I already gave you the big ones, Danny. Thanks for not listening to that list. Kareem's the greatest center of all time. How dare you? I do. I think, though, he is in that next list of people, though.
And you won't count George Mikan for being too old?
I have nothing to base it off of, yeah. Like, if you're going to tell me Mikan's better, I'm not going to argue. But it's fine. Let's say Ewing's better. Okay, then Ewing and then him.
I don't think he's better than Sabonis.
Sabonis in the NBA. He is better than Sabonis in the NBA. Sabonis overall, much better. No, not close. In the NBA, he absolutely is better than that.
Sabonis' peak was in Europe.
Yeah, Yao Ming, same thing. How many productive years did Yao Ming have in the NBA? Bill Walton, I would argue, is a greater player, but not a greater center. He didn't play that many healthy seasons.
Well, Bill Walton, you could see what he did in college. Same thing with Greg Odom. I mean, if those guys could have stayed healthy, they could have been on the list.
What about the Chief?
Yeah, Parrish was always a good center. How many All-Stars? How many All-NBA teams? It's different. Look at Howard's stats, though. All first NBA teams. If you look at the accomplishments,
I think Embiid is a better player than Howard.
Is he better? Sure.
Ooh.
Like, if you're telling me his peak is better, on a perfect day, Embiid is also, though, better than Ewing. He's better than who else do we name? Probably has a higher peak than Moses. I mean, he is as good as anybody when he is absolutely on, but he's not on. Like, when I'm talking about greatness, though, it has to be you're a good player. You also have longevity of your career. You have to have stats.
Availability is an ability. I believe.
Yeah, like I think Luka Doncic, like the absolute in a one-on, like for a week at his absolute peak, Luka Doncic is probably better than Allen Iverson, Steve Nash, John Stockton, all these players. But if you're making an all-time NBA great list, he's not close. He hasn't done it. So now you're having a different argument. I think Dwight Howard, though, has both a fairly long career. And like those years in Orlando toward the end, I would argue he was every bit as effective as Ewing, as Malone.
I just don't know that Robinson. He was ever the greatest player in his team's like franchise history.
Oh, he absolutely was that stretch. So he led them to a series with another All-Star on the team. He was Defensive Player of the Year and a first-team center.
Was he ever the best player in the NBA?
Best player? No. Nope. And most of those other guys weren't either. But yeah.
Is he the greatest Magic center or is Shaq the greatest Magic center?
Shaq, by far.
Yeah, see, no, again, I think if you looked at the numbers, I don't think you'd say that. I mean, Shaq's a greader center. I'm not arguing that. A greater Magic center? How many years did Shaq play with?
But that's when Shaq was skinny and running the floor, and
went to one finals.
5 years,
and went to one finals.
Wow.
I think people conflate this Shaq in Orlando. He was great, and he was a better player than Dwight. He's not a better Magic player than Dwight. I don't think. I'm going to
look up the numbers. We'll talk on the next show about that because I disagree. But maybe what a treat. All right, cut the nonsense.
Maybe
guys.
Live next Wednesday. Maybe.
Yeah. But
Danny, I'm just saying, you sit there with your computer, you log into StreamYard, you tap a couple share my screens when you have some captions. I think this could be done.
Guys, please don't forget to like the page. Please don't forget to give the thumbs up constantly. Comment down in the comments. Obviously, that's going to be where you put comments. But again, give the thumbs up, like the button. Sports Cards Nonsense Network.
Hit the like
button. We're coming at you every week.
You don't even have to like the button. Just hit the like button.
Exactly.
Just smash it.
What a butchered read that was. Wow.
But you're going to get energy. It doesn't matter if it was butchered or delivered beautifully. You're going to get some great energy.
Your color was good on it, though, which is important.
Thank you. Sponsors, we're always looking for help. Bring us aboard, baby.
There you go.
There you go. You see, he's earning that money already.
Yeah. Well, he's making the money. I wouldn't say the difference in there.
Big thumbs up, too. Speaking of the big contract holdout, it was retroed back to July 1st, so thank you guys for that, too. I mean,
that was probably an accident.
Not probably.
Yeah.
All right, cut the
right.
back Wednesday. This will come out Wednesday. It's not even Wednesday yet, so this will be out sometime soon.
All right. See ya.
Bye.